Drum roll. Good evening, friends. Good evening and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists. Things in life do change, but some things don't. And that is the work of spirit and providing a sanctuary of light, of peace, and of upliftment to all the peoples of the world, and proving, of course, life eternal. And tonight we have great pleasure in welcoming our medium, nay, our friend, who has been serving this church in its many different forms now over a number of years, and who was given guidance and direction and support on her journey to this very night from our Reverend Wendy. Let's give a big Littleport and internet welcome to Dora Sheridan! And of course, remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, so please do not swear that much. And of course, remember that we will always be here to serve, no matter what. And we are here, of course, to represent spirit. And so therefore, in order to do that, let's open this service in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, we thank you for the opportunity truly to come together as friends, to witness your love and your light and your truth, and witness the proof that life is indeed eternal. In this still winter time, Great Spirit, we ask for warmth, light, and of course, the overarching gift of love to shine in the hearts of all peoples, that the world may become a brighter, loving place that we can call our earth as it is in heaven. And so as I place this service in your care and keeping, we make the statement as ever, that everything we do is in the name of love, in the name of truth, and in the name of light. Amen.
Amen.
Well, friends, it is at this point that I would usually say what a week it's been. But you know what? One thing I have learnt in this way of life is that if we dwell too much on the week it's been, we forget the week that is to come. Of course, I must address one particular thing before I do my speech on behalf of the world of spirit. Yes, we are now an independent church, and yes, this is now an independent ministry, and I am an independent minister. But what does that mean to everybody who watches at home instead of watching EastEnders? God bless you. And those that do watch EastEnders, it's probably about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, some day between now and next week. It's fine. But what does it really mean to you? Absolutely nothing, because we continue the work of spirit, providing love, upliftment, support, and guidance to all those who need it. And to all of my colleagues that I leave behind in the New Christian Spiritualist Society, I wish you well, I wish you love, and I wish your work continue to the best possible endeavours that you always put to it. And I know the work will continue. But for me, I must follow the calling of my heart, because that's what we all have to do in the end. Without sounding a little bit crass and a little bit rude, as someone put it this week, at the end of the day, when we stand before God, we all stand a little bit naked and a little bit unsure of whether we've done right or wrong in our lives. But so long as we do what we think is right, so long as we spread love and kindness, that's all anyone in the world of spirit can ever ask. I thought long and hard about what I might speak about tonight. And as I said, let's think of the new week, the new month, the new year. But we must always be aware of where we come from. So I've been doing a little bit of digging because I read somewhere once something interesting about the 7 principles of spiritualism, therefore the 8 principles of Christian spiritualism. And it interested and intrigued me, and I was curious. And I followed it up this week. And I learned a great many things about the origins, the meanings, and where it all came from. Now, for those that do not know, the 7 principles of modern spiritualism, the 8 principles of Christian spiritualism, it then became for us Christian spiritualists, were given by Spirit to Emma Hardinge Britten, who founded modern spiritualism in this country way back in the 1800s. And of course, everyone says, almost autonomously, the 7 principles were given to Emma Hardinge Britten by Spirit. Now that's true, but it's not the whole truth. Because there is more to it, as always, when you scratch that surface. You pull away a little bit of chinky, crappy little metal, and it all pops up and bursts in your face. And so it did for me. And I found that Emma Hardinge Britten started with 10 spiritual laws and 10 laws of right. And she then adapted these with Spirit, of course, over time, and came up with a number of 4 spiritualist creed. And then a few months later, it became 6. And then a while after that, they were merged and became 7. But one thing I have always loved, one thing I have always promised I would do, simplify. It is the best thing in the world. But there is always a risk with simplification. Sometimes something can be lost. Little tiny bits can be lost. And those little tiny bits, just like the jigsaw puzzle of the universe I addressed last week, they're important. And so I read them, and I translated them in my own mind as to what they actually meant in a modern English language. Because as we all know, Nick's not all that keen on "thou dost deemest not thine own thou, thee, there, and thy." And of course, in this way of life, we need to keep it simple. So, with the help of my friends in Spirit, I wrote down again these texts given from Spirit to Emma Hardinge Britten's Spirit. But I wrote them down simple. And so from today, this church, at the very least, adopts the Christian Spiritualists' Creed, of which the number is 8, the Spiritualist Charter, and the Spiritual Code of Conduct. Of course, they are overarched by the Creed. But if you ask the question, what does it mean to be spiritualist? Quite often, you'll just get the 7 principles. The Charter and the Codes of Conduct give a little bit more depth. And they really do underpin everything that it is to be spiritualist. And in the spirit, if you'll pardon the pun, of shortcutting, Emma Hardinge Britten and her friends in the spirit realms gave us a shortcut in those words given by Spirit. Because one of them says it's more important than the others. And that's the only, see, you were worried I was going to sit there and read it to you. Well, no, I'll read it to you, or you can buy it for £1. I'm kidding. I'm going to read number 10 of the Charter, because it really is all that matters. The first and last duty on earth in this life. Seek the path of right, live by it, and whatsoever creeds, precepts, or examples conflict with it, reject them, shut them out, putting them away from your thoughts, deeds, and actions, but always remembering the spiritual laws, creeds, and ways of living. And then the final spiritual code of conduct. Manifest love. Above and beyond all things, cultivate it in all we know amongst all humanity. Show that true love can think, speak, and act no wrong to any living thing, proving and showing that where love exists, all other principles of right become fulfilled by its influence and embodied within it. Every week I have stood here and said, unconditional love is all that matters. And that is what the spirit friends of Emma Hardinge Britten said in the 1870s. Times change, but one thing doesn't. That is love, tolerance, and kindness. Because love, tolerance, and kindness, in the words of a very well-known pop song, they're really all you need. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. And now, friends, it is, of course, that time when I summon up upon the computer Reverend Alan for his reading to see what he has come up with. And so I will say, Alan, would you like to come forward? Hey!
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's great to be here yet again. Seems that I was only here last week. It's normally a month. But never mind. I searched the internet for something that I thought would be fitting for tonight, being the first service under the new banner. I came up with two, but finally drawn to this one. I hope you like it as much as I do. It is called What Life Should Be by Pat A. Fleming. Yes, I stole it. To learn while still a child what this life is meant to be, I know it goes beyond myself. It's so much more than me. To overcome the tragedies, to survive the hardest times, to face those moments filled with pain and still manage to be kind, to fight for those who can't themselves, to always share my light with those who wander in the dark, to love with all my might, to stand up with courage through standing on my own, to still get up and face each day, even when I feel alone. Try to understand the ones that no one cares to know, and make them feel some value when the world has let them go. To be an anchor, strong and true, that person loyal to the end. To be constant, source of hope to my family and my friends. To live a life of decency, to share my heart and soul. To always say I'm sorry when I've harmed both friend or foe. To be proud of whom I've tried to be, and this life I choose to live, to make the most of every day by giving all I have to give. To me, that's what life should be. To me, that's what it's for. To take what God has given me and make it so much more. To live life that matters. To be someone of great worth. To love and to be loved in return. Thank you.
Once again, of course, proving, friends, that as ever, Alan and his spirit friends are well and truly on form. Thank you so much. It amazes me every time how appropriate something can be found for the moment, for the time, and for the need. And that's what matters. Now, friends, is the time when we send out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering. And we know that we receive healing from our friends and our loved ones in the spirit world. It would be remiss of me not to say something right now, because today is not just the day of our new beginning and direction within this church. We've lost 3 friends to the spirit world in our journey. Reverend George, whom took the ministry only after he passed because he wouldn't accept it while he was alive. I cheated and ordained him at his funeral. He said he'd get me back one day, and I'm sure he's still waiting for a good opportunity. I know that he is and forever will be our healing light worker in spirit, and will help with our new healing helper in this church and give some support. And occasionally you'll just have to tune out from him because he'll keep going and going and going on. But he's got a lot to say and it's worth listening to, so I recommend it. And I know George will be watching from the wings, as he always did. Of course, we also lost Reverend Wendy, who was a true friend to spiritualism and had been constantly on at me about directions and points of view and how to best move things forward. And I know she is here too tonight as well. And I know that she will be continuing her help, having already guided our medium safely into Littleport through her songs. And of course, we lost Dad, known as the man who would keep the mediums talking so that I would be blamed for the late start of the service. Known as the man to go where you needed directions and the man to go and see when you needed a cuppa and a snack at the end of the service. Today, in an actual fact 30 minutes ago today, is the 1-year anniversary of his promotion to God's kitchen. And I know that the angels, the saints, and all of our friends and loved ones are getting the best blooming cup of tea in the universe, as well as their ear chewed off constantly and telling St. Michael the shortcut on how to get from heaven to earth if he needed to do some work down here, because that's what he would do. And I know, of course, that on his spiritual birthday, he will be watching and keeping an eye on us too. But of course, his purpose was to always make sure, as I always said, that our services ended with a tea. And everything we do here is always about ending with a tea. So tonight, we will have the best cuppa that we possibly can because I know that our new kitchen staff will be guided and directed by Dad on which side the tea bag should go down first. Because it's the kind of thing he'd say. Like when he tried to convince me that his pool cue was left-handed so I couldn't use it. That's the sort of games he would play. And I know that they, 3 representatives of this church in the spirit world, will help us send out our healing thoughts, because that is what we do next. So friends, let's join together and send out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering, to all the names in the absent healing book, to all the names that have been forwarded to this church this week, and to all the names that no one has shared too. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them. This we ask for those we know, for those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them, we ask for them now. Amen.
Amen.
Friends, believe it or not, it's a Littleport record. It's 8:05, and it's time to move on to the mediumship. Wowza. I know my spirit friends said just keep it short and shut up tonight, and I do as I'm told frequently. But I can't, yes I do, Reverend Tony, I do keep it short from time to time. You behave yourself. Friends, now is the time in our service when we hand over to the guides and helpers and to the medium that she represents. Give a huge, loving Littleport welcome to the one and only Dora Sheridan.
Most of you already know me anyway and see how I work. But for those who haven't, let me just tell you a little bit. How I work, I see, sense and hear spirit. Sometimes not always at the same time. And I usually just hand the evening over to them and let them work how they wish to work. So I'm freezing just to let you know. So if I can cut you down just to people. Okay, so let's have a look. See where we're going to go first of all. The gentleman in the world of spirit that's come forward first of all, very, very patient man, I might add, and he's very, I feel that with him, I'm quite a spiritual person within myself, so I have a great belief in the world hereafter. He didn't actually practice spiritually, but there was many thoughts that he would have within himself. And I say that he was a very placid man, very, very quiet. And he would take everything as it would come. And he loved nature, very much loved nature. He loved to read. And he loved to have books on wildlife and on animals. That was very important to him. Okay, let's have a look, see what I can find a little bit more about him. Okay. So as I'm looking at this gentleman, I'm seeing him around about his 70s. Okay, I would say he was sort of just above medium height, really. Just a normal skin build, okay? But he had great depth to him. He was always got his head in books. He always wanted to absorb more and more knowledge. I think there are more people over this side of the room, but please tell me if I'm not. Okay. I'm also hearing the name George. Now that may not be his name, but it could be a name associated around him or the family. And I don't know why I've just been looked at all of a sudden. Let's see where we go. Okay. This man was very much a casual dresser. He wasn't a man that would get suited and booted for anything. He just liked to be very casual dressed. What else can I say? He was very interested also in North America. He loved to learn about how other tribes did and how other people lived and their cultures and their beliefs. That fascinated him. Can anybody first of all understand this gentleman, please? So I am drawn to you. I've got an arrow pointing directly straight at you at the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying with this gentleman? Yeah. Okay. He was such a lovely soul, this man, and he was so relaxed within himself and comfortable within his own skin. But this worldly knowledge that he wanted to absorb was just more and more learning about everything. Because to him, there was a massive existence. Everything existed, and everything crossed paths with one another, and everything was connected. And he was really talking to them. Everything was connected and interlinked with each other. You understand that? And that was what he loved to explore further and further. So whether it was man, whether it was animal, whether it was plant, it was all connected with life. And that is what he loved. Okay. And I don't know that this person, I don't know if he had glasses, if he could understand glasses, but I know that his eyesight was a little bit bad. He just wants to put their glasses on myself, please. Okay. And he was a man of simple means. Yeah. Very much a man of materialistic things didn't mean nothing to him. Okay, he was comfortable with what he had. And he would recycle things. I feel like I want to recycle things with him. I would use them over and over again until they had no purpose or they had no use. I've got lots of books with this man though. I'm seeing books piling up everywhere with him. Yeah. And everything, and I feel a little bit cluttered with him, if that makes sense. The surroundings around him, it feels a bit cluttered. Do you understand that? Yeah, okay. So the purpose of him coming in and seeing you, okay, is really to tell everybody here, including yourself, the way he could see the world again. And not to be fearful of going forward, of the changes that we make, because it never bothered him. He took each day as it came. And each day was a new day. And the new day, he said, was blessed by that new day. Yeah. And even walking in that new day, he learnt new things. So it's almost like he would get excited about the next day that came. Yeah. And that's what he wanted to bring to you as well. You know, he's saying there's been lots of changes, and we've all experienced the changes. Yeah. But he said not to be fearful of them, because they will bring new learnings for you. And there's new learnings, new doors open, a new way forward.
Thank you.
But to embrace that and not to be fearful of that.
Thank you.
Okay. He's also talking to me about a direction for you, please. He's saying it's almost like you've changed direction or you're changing direction. You don't understand what he's saying? Yeah, okay. And again, he said, he's actually smiling to himself, because he's just saying, it's almost like I'm doing this along the road here, and we're just sort of changing path, changing direction. He said, but it's all good. And he's doing it so calmly. He said, it's all good. He said, think about how much you can embrace when that changes.
Thank you.
So he can embrace those. And not to worry, he said, because you should never worry. What is meant to happen needs to happen. Okay. Right. What else I need to say? With this gentleman as well, would you also understand that I've got somebody either around you, please, or himself, who would have either had a throat issue, please? Yeah, okay. So he's just making me aware of that as well, okay? And there's, you're a man of nature, he's saying.
Correct.
Because it feels like I want to take you out.
I learned so much from him, actually.
You're a man of nature. Sorry. And it's right up there. And it's something to do with the blossom on the trees, you keep showing me. Yeah? So that's quite important for you. And it's again, it's new life, isn't it?
Yeah,
So for you who's saying the springtime, he loves the springtime
Yeah.
because that represents new beginnings, new life
Yeah.
around you. Okay. And there's a place that I feel like I need to take you, or a place you go yourself, that is full of trees.
Yes.
Yes, that again, he said, just take a walk through the park, through the trees. He said, and embrace that again. Okay. And then he said, I want to take, and then he's saying, now take him back to the autumn, because that's another time he loves. And there's some things are changing. All beautiful colours are changing. Yeah. Okay. So I just really want to bring his love forward tonight. Okay, and his messages. He said, because to him, he was a man of not many means. He was a man of not a high status. He was a man that didn't have a lot of finances, but he was a man that had a lot of wisdom. And that's what he wants to give to you.
Thank you.
I've got a lady singing in my ear at the moment. And she's singing me that old-fashioned war song, Sally. Somebody might have to help me a little bit with that. I can't hear the song. It was by Grace. Is it Gracie's song?
Gracie Field.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's what I'm hearing at the moment. So this lady, I know she passed for the world of spirit. Again, I want to put her. I think I want to put her somewhere between 60 and 70. Actually, her hair. I've got very grey hair with her. But she's got like this wave in her hair. So short hair, but got like a wave on it there. Okay. And she loved music. Absolutely loved music. I can hear her singing at the top of her voice. That's something. So I know that she would have been around during the time of the war as well, because I thought she had a bit of an active part to play in that. She was always there for each other, always there, and made a point of being there for everybody. And I can see her bringing food to people. So I know she would never let anyone starve, and she would never let anyone go without, and whatever she could do, she would do. She would knit blankets as well. I'm seeing lots of those knitted blankets where you put the squares together and you join them all together to make like a bedspread, that sort of thing. So she had lots of those. And somebody still got some, I think. Am I with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And her name was Sally.
Right. And the knitted blankets, you still have
Yeah.
they're getting old now. Some of them are a bit holy now, aren't they?
I imagine so, yes. Yeah. I don't have them myself, but I know where they are.
Okay, because she was just saying. And that was knitted with pure love.
Yes.
Pure love. And that was the type of lady she was. She could talk for Britain, this lady.
Yeah.
Oh, she could talk and talk and talk and talk, this lady. And she loved singing, like I said, at the top of her voice. But she was very joyful with it. Yes. And even during the time, I feel like I want to be with her at the time of during the war, please.
Yes.
And I feel that she did have an active part to play in that as well, didn't she? Because I feel that she was out there always helping. And like I said, food from nothing.
Yeah.
From literally making food from nothing and giving it to somebody that was in need.
Yes.
Yeah, and even the children, I'm seeing her with the children there as well. And she would just amuse them.
Yeah, she definitely kept us occupied, that's for sure.
Yeah, she would amuse them. She would just light up their day. And it was the silliest of things. We've passed silly now, but to them, at that point, it was the most important things. I've seen Jacks, yes. You know Jacks, like you Jacks with the ball?
Yes. Still got them.
Still got them. Okay, so I'm seeing Jacks, and somebody got told off for cards. They were doing something. They shouldn't have been doing cards.
I got told off for a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing, to be fair, and cards was one of them.
Cards,
yeah.
I think
I did used to play cards. Yeah.
Okay, and she was worried that it was going to go to gambling cards, that sort of thing, yeah? So I feel like somebody got a bit for telling off for that. because it wasn't the right thing to do. She's like, okay. She wasn't very big, this lady. I think, because I want to bring her quite small and down, please. And again, her frame, quite a little frame here within herself. Okay, but what she could offer was larger than life.
Yes.
Larger than life. And I know this lady is, well, sorry, she's just showing me something. I think in her day as well, apart from the music that she would have loved, I think she would have liked a bit of a boogie as well, this lady.
I'd heard that, to be fair. Yes.
Because I feel I want to dance a little bit with this lady. Okay. And she was so joyful. Okay. Why is she coming? Let me find out why she's coming. She wants you to remember those times as a child.
Thank you.
Those times when you did have to be picked up off the floor because you hurt your knees.
Yes.
Okay. And she's sorting your knees out. Okay. And she's also remembering the times. There was obviously another game here I've got, which involves some form of bucket or something. And I'm throwing something in the bucket, I think, or stones or something.
Yes. Absolutely.
So she's just bringing that as a memory link as well.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And she said, and there's also, as she's cleaning up your knees, okay, I'm just hearing her saying cleanliness is close to godliness. And she's saying that. So that was very important to her, is you always looked after yourself.
Yes.
That was very important. You never let yourself go. Always look after yourself. Okay. Anything else she wants to say to you? No, I don't think so. There is one other thing. I've got, and it's somebody's medal here that she keeps giving me. Now, I'm not sure who the medal is. There was hers, but it is somebody around her. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Well? So I know I need to give you that. And the clock is striking. So that I'm hearing a clock also in the background, please.
Thank you.
So that I'm hearing that as well. And I'm hearing like a chime. So it's chiming at a particular time. And I don't know if 1:10 means anything to you, but I need to give you the hour of 1:10, please.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so she said that's quite relevant.
Very.
Right. So, and as she's coming in this evening, she's just saying she said you're blessed.
Thank you.
You're blessed. And she said she's just very, very proud of the things that you do and that you do for us, because she was very much that way inclined herself.
Yes.
Okay. And the other thing she's just given me, and I don't know if this makes any sense to you whatsoever, but she's almost telling you to walk the right road, and she's given me the yellow brick road. No,
Thank you.
The Elton John, the yellow brick road.
Absolutely.
Okay. So she's just telling me to give you that as well. And with that, I'm going to leave. I love it.
Thank you.
And I also have a brooch. Sorry, I have a brooch.
Yes.
As well, furs as well, that I know that I need to pass to somebody as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And with that, she's still not gone.
No.
Okay. Like I said, she could talk to British.
Yeah.
And the coat she's wearing, I doubt if you remember, but I've got a coat on here, and I've got this massive fur. Like, going around.
Yes.
Around this coat here with her, and I've got a hat, and I'm wearing this hat, and I've got a pin, you know, like the pins where they would put into the top of the hat.
Absolutely.
So I've got that she's wearing as well. I'm very proud of it. She feels very good in the way she's looking as well.
Yeah.
So she's got a lovely smile on her face, and I'm going to leave her love with you.
Thank you. Leave her alone now, man.
Okay.
Just be glad you came to me and not my mother. It'd have been a different story.
Right, okay. Let's look who else we've got coming in now. Okay. So I've got another lady that's now coming through as well. And I want to put this lady quite elderly actually, so I want to go a lot older with this lady. I feel that I'm between my 80s and my 90s with this lady. Very small in height, small in frame. I know that she would have struggled walking. She's got white grey hair, a lot of that is due to her age. And I know that as she's walking, she would have used a Zimmer frame, please. Her back was sort of doubled over a lot, but I think that was just with age and constantly using a Zimmer frame. And I know she struggled walking as well, so she had those Velcros type of things on those slippers of hers as she's walking. And it's almost like I'm seeing red slippers or dark blue red colour slippers here. Okay. I don't think that she would have been able to live by herself, so I feel this lady was either in like a like a water control home, or there was somebody there that was actually constantly looking after her. She was very bright within herself and studying. And she had lived a long life, and she was very thankful and grateful for the life that she had. She loved flowers, this lady, and I feel that there was often, I can see a vase there with constant flowers in. And I'm seeing pictures up here as well on the wall with her, and the family pictures, so I know that she would have had family pictures. Okay. And I'm also hearing the name Rose. It may not have been her name, it could have been the name associated with her or her family, please. Anybody can come. No, but lovely lady. Very, 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 I can look quite small. Yeah, and again, you've got the brain, you've done something in the brain and her back as well. Okay, and I have got the pictures of what I'm looking at from the wall of the family there and the vase, the flowers, I know that she loved that. Yeah. And she's quite a talkative lady as well. Yeah. But at the same time, I know I need to put glasses on this lady, and I like my time. If that makes sense. Yeah. I like my quiet time. She said, I was getting old, and I couldn't always hear, she said, I couldn't always hear what they said. She said, so I should just close my eyes. So I know she struggled with walking, and I know that was hard for her, the older she got with that as well. But she said she had a really good life. She had, and yes, there were difficulties, and I know that she's saying that there were hard times early on in life, and she did actually cross through some hurdles. She just said, you know, not everything was easy. She said, it's not like it is nowadays. Okay, and the other thing she's saying is that she's happy to be here. She said she's really happy to be here. And she knows that the people that were around her the most, she could see the smiles upon their faces, and she looks at them now, and she can see how life is going for them, and the family is going for them. Yeah, she's so very proud. And will they give somebody a necklace, please? They'll do a necklace. Yeah, okay, so she just wants to be aware of the necklace she had. And again, I don't think this lady had a huge amount of it, but what she wore all the time. The jewels, yeah, and the rings, I know I need to take the rings off, and I know that they last as well. And I also need to get that she got a little bit of Bible, please. Would you understand the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, she just making reference to that. And I'll tell you something she did like, and I'm not sure if you're aware. She liked her women's magazines.
Yeah, she did.
She liked looking through them, but she couldn't get out. So for her, read all the previews, and there's one particular she keeps showing me. Oh, a woman's own. Is it woman's own? Woman's own. She just did it there. Okay. So I know that she liked her magazines, she's saying to me. She was quite creative in her day though, not towards the end because she had, I think she suffered with arthritis in her hands and she couldn't move her hands properly. But when she was going back in time, I think she was quite creative with her hands, please. So I don't know if she did, I think I wanted some stitches. I don't know if she was very good at this sewing and all that. She was very good at that stuff again. Okay. And I know she's coming in this evening to speak to. Okay, she's just really pleased she's here. She's really pleased you're here. You know, because she's just looking at everything that's going on there. You know, being and she's just very proud and know that she had a part to play. There's some pictures that she's talking about though. I've got some black and white pictures and they're all photographs. You know, they're from the black and white. But she said, I think she would have had them up on her wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, where are they?
I'm in school.
Okay. I feel that there's one in particular, it's almost like she wants to get out. And I can see a gentleman in that picture. And I'm not sure, I think he's in the services, but I feel that it looks like he's in the services. One picture that I feel that she wants to take off or keep out. Yeah, so I know that's very dear to her, very close. I didn't have anything to do with her husband. It was okay. I know that's the importance of it, you want to get that. Somebody used to play the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially pensions.
We don't play the piano, we couldn't read music.
Right, because I just know I want to play the piano or something, but it's okay. But I feel that there's somebody else that's trying to play the piano or the keyboard, a different generation.
My daughter's grade 7, pianist.
I won't say what she just said, but she did say it may take some time.
Yeah.
I think she's been polite. And I've got to give you, okay, she's been in touch. I need to give somebody a recorder. You know when they used to play the recorder at school? So I know I need to give somebody a recorder. I think that's a memory link for either you or when you're younger or something. I just want to call that I can play the recorder here. But I need to give somebody a statue. You have the old-fashioned statue. You go to school. So I need to give somebody that. And again, I think that could be associated either with yourself or somebody around you. Somebody's put their engravings in it. They've got your initials. And then you lift up the flat, and underneath you've got your initials in. Yeah, so she's going to see that as well. So I'm just going to leave that with you. And just say, God bless you. She's talking to me about a watch that you need to get repaired, or if it's broken, or somebody doing the watch.
Yeah, there's 2 watches that have been repaired, but they're with somebody else.
Right,
I couldn't do them.
because she said, because it was like she said, why haven't we get done? Why haven't we done? We're just sitting, taking rest. Yeah. So I'm going to give her a lot of
It's actually her anniversary next week.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's probably why she's using it. Yeah. Right, I've got a bit of family concern going on at the moment. Just okay. So I've got somebody that would have lost quite a large number of people to the world of spirit. So they come from a large family, and they've lost quite a lot of people over the years. And it looks like there's aunts and uncles, and I've got brothers, and I've got nephews. I've got quite a large batch up there, all from the same family, please. Okay. And as the person's talking to me at the moment, I feel that they would have lived locally. However, they would have had connections further afield because it was such a large family. There would have been connections further away, even though they lived actually locally themselves, and some of the other family members live locally. But there is definitely a connection elsewhere here. Okay. I'm hearing the name Jack, but again, may not be around him, but it would have been associated to somebody in the family. Jack. And I'm hearing also Susan. And I'm also hearing Mary. Okay. Anybody understand so far? You know how come? Right. You understand the large family? Okay. So there's a lot in the world of spirit, please. All different ages as well, different connections with each other. Yeah, and you understand the local connection here, being local, but then there's a distance here as well. Okay. I just want to see who's talking to. It's like they're talking to me at once. I'm just like, Scottish. Do you know what I was going to say? I thought there was like an Irish sound, but it's Scottish. Thank you for that. Okay. So they're quite, I'm honestly quite a loud bunch. Yeah, okay. So I've got a lady, first of all, I just want to come forward first of all to talk, because they're all talking at the same point. I can't do all that once. So I asked the lady to come forward. Okay, this lady, as she comes in, I feel that she's quite a solid character within herself. I feel she knows her own mind, and if she's got something to say, she will say it. Okay. And I don't feel that she takes things lightly on.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. And it's important to her how people interact with each other. And I know that she feels that the large family that she has, there have been times when that hasn't always happened.
Yeah.
And it can cause the utter much, the most frustration ever. Because with her, she likes it in it.
She got very much into family.
Very much into family. And she didn't have time for the quarrels or bickering or you know, he has this, she has that. She didn't have time for it, you know. And she would find that quite frustrating within herself. Okay. And even now, I feel like she's keeping them at bay. To say, behave yourself. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel that she's saying to them at the moment. Okay. And I also, as I'm looking at her here, I feel that this is another lady as well. I feel like I want to like nature with this lady. I feel that I want to be outside with her, please. Okay. Would you understand what I'm feeling here with her? I want to stick with my local connection for a minute. So I don't know if it's her that's local or whether that is this longer distance. But I feel that I want to be outside because where I'm looking is scenery. I'm not finding okay. I'll just let them talk. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is scenery, but I'm also seeing small terraced little houses.
That's right.
Yeah, so I know that they're just showing me that on the link as well. Okay. Okay. And I'm also showing somebody would have had these like like the old-fashioned prams.
The big ones.
The very big ones with the handles up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm also seeing one of them. Again, I know that's just a memory link. You should just bring it in to show me, please. Okay. Right. Let me find out why she's coming and why they're all here. Actually, they're all here because it's coming up to an important date.
We've had others in the coming.
Okay. So that's why they're all here, and they're all here to show their respect. Yeah. Okay. And that was quite a thing in the family as well, wasn't it? It was to be respectful at the end of the day, you know. And if you had a wedding or you had a loss, it was have that respect for each other.
That's true.
Yeah. Because then that's what would pull the family in. Yeah. Okay. And I know why the family here is, like I said, really to show their respect for the event coming up and the event just happened. Well, the loss, the anniversary.
Yes, just been an anniversary, that's.
Yeah, okay, and one to come. So I know they're all there for that purpose, okay. But I just feel that that's their whole purpose coming in this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, just to honour each other.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that and say God bless from all of them.
Yes.
From all of them. Yeah. So God bless you.
Thank you.
I've got another gentleman now, just jumped in here. This feels like a dad, please, as he's just walked in. And this man again, I feel would be around about his 70s, around about 76, 77, around about that age. Okay. But as he's coming in, he's talking to me about the person that he wants to go to is another Mao, firstly, and they're very, very good with their hands, as in they're very precise in what they do. It's almost like they're fixing things, and some of it's like very small parts that they gather. It's almost like I'm in a little bit of a workshop going on here, and I'm fixing pieces together, and that's quite important. And time is very important. I'm seeing clocks as well, like small pocket watch clocks as well, watches. Okay, would anybody understand what he explains to that person? Very popular tonight. All right, so would you understand? I'm feeling here, it's just almost like I'm fixing these. I don't know if it's pocket watches I'm fixing, but I feel like I'm fixing pocket watches. And it's really precise, you've really got to have keen eye as well. Okay, and I'm not sure that I'm in a workshop or so, but I feel like I've got this bench because I've got all these tools and bits and pieces all over the bench.
Oh, God, yes.
Okay, doesn't understand. Okay, and all right, let me just see where it's back it down again. Okay. Right, so, and as he's coming in, he sends, I don't feel, Okay, I've got a bit of weight on this man. That's something I'm feeling with him. Okay, so I know that he would have had some weight on him, please. And I would say he was sort of above medium height. Yeah, again, I don't want to put him very materialistic in having things. It didn't bother him. He was more happy with what he had and what he could make and what he could do. And it intrigued him. It really irritated him if he couldn't fix something. Because why can't he fix it?
Yes.
Yeah, and he would spend hours sometimes on it. And
Yes.
especially these watches, I know I keep going back to these watches, but it's almost like I want to take the fronts off and they've got to be so precise. And that's what he loved doing. Okay. And then the other thing I'm hearing, and I don't know if I've just crossed over with you, because something else has given me, you know the old things, now this is interesting, I don't know what they're called, but you know like on a railway, would you understand the railway connection with this man?
A love of them, yes.
Okay. Would you understand I want to hold these things, I don't know what they're called, and I'm doing this.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Do you know what whatever they are, but that's what I want to do with him. Do you understand that thing with this man, please? Okay. And there's something to do with cleansing or something, or make it clear in area or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was what they'd used to go ahead and check that the line was clear.
Okay.
Among other things, of course. But
yeah, okay, so I know that he's bringing that in. And that was hard work, because I feel that he worked really long hours under all various conditions, under the weather conditions. Yeah, really long hours. But it was something that he just naturally did.
yes.
He didn't think nothing of it, you know. And it was, again, I want to put him as very much of a family man, please.
Yes.
So I know that he had family as well. And that meant a lot to him.
You've just clocked who it is, haven't you? Yeah.
He's laughing at me now. He's smiling at me now. Yeah, I've just got to who it is. Okay. So I do have Francis here.
Yes, you
for
do.
Yeah. And he's saying to me, those were the days. And again, he keeps bringing this on the railway thing.
It's the working together.
Yeah. Okay. And I felt that he did that for years and years and years, please.
He did loads of different things for years and years and years, but always very manual.
Yeah. Who plants the bulbs?
He used to, I'm supposed to. Yes, I'll get on with it, Father.
He just okay, so I won't say no more about that.
They're in the cupboard, they're ready, Dad, all right? Leave me alone.
I won't tell you what you just said.
I can imagine.
Okay. And there's something to do about a wardrobe. He's just given me a memory link, something to do with a dark wooden wardrobe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes! Yes.
Okay. And I don't know what's in the wardrobe, I just know it's a dark wooden wardrobe, something to do with
We demolished it and turned it into a rabbit hutch.
as one does. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, but again, he was quite handy with his hands, wasn't he?
Very.
He would put his hands to most things if he could. And right now, he's giving me another thing now. I'm walking down now for a wheelbarrow. So I know that he would have had a wheelbarrow, please.
Yes.
And I don't know what he's doing with that or what he's putting it, but I know he's using that for some form of gardening, or not sure if it is gardening, actually. He's using that for, I'm not sure.
We often wondered ourselves, don't worry.
I've seen lots of things in this wheelbarrow.
Yes.
It's not earth. Okay. Right. So I know. And I've got chickens going on here as well with him. So there must have been something to do.
Did he have chickens when he was a kid?
No.
It sounds like something they would have done.
Right. I don't think these chickens were something that he looked after.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you now. Yeah.
Okay. He never went without food, did he?
No.
Okay. And there was something to do with the outside as well. I want to take him outside because he loved the outside, didn't he? But he loved it when the sun come down. You know, when the sun starts to come down, and that was beautiful. Because I don't know where he lived, but there must have been a scenery there where he could see the sunset.
Yeah.
And that was a beautiful time for him. And he'd always look at that and realise how lucky he was to have that vision, that view.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was very nice. And he liked the early mornings as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a man that would get up very early.
Yeah.
Up with the birds. Yeah, he just said to me. Okay. And he liked his cocoa.
I like the cocoa.
You like the cocoa. I know I've just been given a cup of cocoa from Mother Cocoa, actually.
Yeah.
So that's. And who likes the Bovril?
That's what?
Bovril.
There is Bovril. That's a beef tea.
Yes.
Yeah, and you used to have the Oxo, didn't you?
Yes, he did.
Right.
Yeah. It's the same difference.
Yeah. Okay. So he's just given me that as well. Okay. And somebody would have liked a couple of the. I've got whiskey going on there, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got whiskey. But no, somebody would have liked the ale.
That was him.
That was him. So I feel like there's a whiskey for someone and an ale for him. Okay. Okay. So, okay, I'm just going to leave his love with
Thank
you. And I've got to say God bless you. And he does a little message for everybody, and that's enjoy your tea. Just said to me.
Enjoy the tea.
Okay. Let's see who else is coming in. Okay. Right. Okay, I've got a. Okay. Just see if I can get this. Right, if it goes. Right, I've got a young lady that's coming through. And I'll say she's blonde. She's got quite long hair, wavy hair. And she would have passed the spirit quite young, I'm afraid. She was a very outspoken and a very outward type of character. She loved life. She liked to sing, she liked to dance, she liked to go out. She liked doing all these things that a young lady would like to really do. Very presentable, the way she looked and how she dressed. But I feel that her life came to a very quick end. Right. Did anybody understand this lady, first of all?
I can take a young girl, I was very young.
Well, I'm seeing her, I would say she's either late teens or, I was going to say late teens, okay. Would you understand her passing very,
Extremely quickly.
Okay. It's feeling to me like it was an accident. Okay. Like it was an accident. It was that quick.
And it was an asthma attack actually, but
Right, okay.
it was an accident the way it happened.
Right, okay. This young lady, I just feel that she had so much to give. So much to give. She was, again, larger than life character. She liked everything a young lady at that age. Yeah. She was very presentable with herself. Always in a rush. Always in a rush, so here, there, and everywhere. And everything was happening all at once with her. Yeah. And I know that her passing was very difficult for others around her. Very hard for others to accept her. Yeah. And she had a sense of humour, very much a sense of humour. She was always bubbly. Always bubbly. Because as I just said that, she just said, well, what do you think I felt? That's the sort of character she was. She was a really lovely lady, you know, and lovely, really lovely lady too. Okay. There are things that are placed in a box, please, of hers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know they're still there.
Another still got them.
You've still got them, okay. And I know that it's almost like she looks down and can see exactly what's going on. Yeah, and she was there on the day the box was placed and what was put in that box. And I know she's got some lovely memories in that box, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I got a photograph of her in there, and I'm not sure if it's a school photograph, but it looks like it's a school photograph.
Actually, I think my mother's got.
Right, okay. So the contents of what was in the box, I thought that was in the box. So there's some very lovely memories held in that box, okay? And I feel that she wants to come through today because she wants to pass on a message, and I don't know if that's possible for everyone else. Yeah, okay. And she just really wants to know that she's fine. And she wants to do that. The memories keep coming back to her mother. And they keep getting played over and over and over again. Almost like a reflexive video. Yeah. And she said, you don't have to keep going over anymore. Yeah. Just remember the time she did have with her. Yeah. And to her to know that she knows about the box. Because that's quite important. She said she needs to know about the box. Okay. And I'll tell you a few things and you can relay that to her mother. But in the box. Okay. There's Peter Bites and Joy. That's in the box. I've got a small photograph. That's in the box. Okay. And I think there's a ribbon. That's in the box. And there's also a card as well that with lovely sentiments on after she goes. That's the box as well. Okay. And she said, you can tell my mum to put the lid on the box. She can keep the box, but I'm fine. I'm okay. So she has a sister, please. Yeah, okay. Because I also feel that it's not just to her mum that she wants to sort of say she's fine, but to her sister. Because I feel her sister is always left wondering. It's always wondering what she would be like, what she would be doing. All those thoughts, those natural thoughts. Right. So again, I feel that she just wants to say to her, to get on with their lives, And she's still very much around them. She's still very much nothing, And she just almost like says, I've just not gone anywhere. It's physically not there, but I'm still there, And she wants them to know that it's okay to move on, and you don't have to continue to look grieving and stick with her mum.
Yeah.
And she's really happy, and she's happy for her to move on. Yeah. So I just really want to leave those messages for her.
Just one more.
I've got somebody in now loves reptiles. I hate it when you do that to me because I really don't know. Okay, so this person loved reptiles. I've got tarantulas going on here, bog black ones. I've got snakes. They would have loved to keep them. And they were really, this again, I feel I want to come to her house. I think I want to come to her house. I'm not sure at the moment. But she's given me a memory link of a Mao as a child who would always go out in the fields and look for things like this. And then he'd bring them home. Okay. And I feel over a period of time they would have actually kept these all creatures. They would have kept these spiders, they would have kept snakes. What do they call them? Lizards? I think that's one. So, does anybody understand that? So, first of all, do you understand the memory link was getting here of being young and going out to the fields and collecting as many spiders and snakes as you possibly can? I've got mice. I've got everything I'm collecting here. That's beautiful. Yeah. And also having them as a old as well. Because I've got I'm seeing tanks here with them in. Yeah, we go, see. Whoa, okay. And they've got a memory link of something happening there, wasn't it? Wasn't there one of them that got out or something? It was a snake that had got out from where it shouldn't have been in there. And then that was a bit of an uproar, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, okay, bit of a panic.
My ex-friend.
Yeah, okay. But you did find it, and it was understood.
It wasn't hard to find, just 15 foot long.
What was it? Panic when that got out. Okay, I know that absolutely laughing hysterically. Okay, and it's just saying, and I feel it's a lady actually, this lady's coming. I'm not sure it's your mother, but she's got my mother. She's got this mother in my very Okay. And she's saying, I was always up to no good doing Christian. Do you understand that? And you could never find him.
No.
Yeah, you'd be calling, and he'd never come back.
No.
And you'd have to go out looking. No. Okay. And that hasn't really altered.
No.
Hasn't really altered. Yeah. And again, love to be out there. Yeah. And again, even with the ones that you have, and the tanks, and the various different types of ones that you have, it's just a touch of another one, isn't it?
It was.
Very much so. Kind of. And I know that she's coming in. First thing I want to give or pass to somebody would be a set of rings.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I need to also, she would have had, would you understand, I want to say, like an old-fashioned brown wooden dressing table, please?
Yes.
With, I've got the mirror
Yeah.
coming up like that. And you know when you have almost like little secret compartments?
Yes.
Okay, because I've got things in the little secret compartments there as well, please. Okay. Anything else? And I've got some beautiful white handkerchiefs.
Yes.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think some of them might even be in a box and won't even open.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
No one still got those.
Oh, lovely. And she liked her flowers. She did like her flowers. And she liked dried flowers as well. So I'm looking at dried flowers. So I'm sure she would press her own flowers.
She was in the
Well, I
Bible.
want to press the very rosy.
Yeah.
So I'm putting everything very rose pressed. Okay. And again, I want to put this lady here. She was very creative within herself, wasn't she? Very good. And would you understand her doing embroidery, please?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel that she did have a love of anything creative that she would work on. And again, I feel this lady as well, she would make something out of nothing, wouldn't she? You know, when I'm talking about food or anything like that, she would just make a dish and the cover. Sorry, she didn't listen. I'm going to tell you. You know when you're making like a stew, but you've got mincemeat, I've got for you. And it's like a mincemeat stew. I don't recall such a thing, but that's what I'm seeing. Yeah. And I don't think, you know, she's coming from school and she's like ladling it up almost and giving that to us for a winter's night. You know, see, coming from school. So you understand. And somebody would collect the flowers, but I think this could have been you. Get memory, you're young. Would you understand? I've got, you know, like the daisies and the buttercups.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like I just got a bunch and then take home a bunch.
Yeah.
And take home a bunch for mum, actually. Yeah, what walk the man, would you understand that? You have to say sorry, Lowe. And that softened everything, though, didn't it? It really softened everything. Okay. I know she's just coming into you to say what you can. It's just to give you so much love.
Thank you.
It really is to give you so much love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just say that all those memories are so fun. And they're the things we need to hold on to.
Yeah.
It's those beautiful memories that we create throughout our life. But we sometimes forget that.
You do. You do.
And so I believe I love it.
Bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dora Sheridan! Thank you so much for a wonderful demonstration, truly proving that life is eternal and that my family likes to take things over, because whenever I get a message, I feel it only fair to share a couple of pointers and details as proof of evidence for everyone present who didn't get a message. It was such a picture on your face as you were so away with spirit, describing this man and describing this information, and then that sudden stone cold look of realization on your face of who it was absolutely, definitely the kind of sense of humor my father had. And of course, my father did collect things, tools, to name one or two. And the interesting thing is that my partner needed to fix a watch. And we'd been going now, all of the various different things that we'd got in the house, we hadn't got anything to work with a watch. And he Googled it and found this item. And I said, let me have a look. And I said, I recognise that. And it was actually one of the tools that was in the cupboard that I'd never seen before, that Dad had got, used, but nobody had ever seen it. And if you ever need a tape measure, I think I could open a tape measure shop, Mum, couldn't you? And pocket knives and tape measures. We could supply the British Army, our family could. But then of course his mother came through first. That was Sally. And I was quite concerned what she would come up with. But I'm glad she came up with the cleanliness bit, because even though I got in trouble for it, she did actually laugh when I helped her with the cleaning. Because as a young child, I'd seen the Shake and Vac adverts. And so I helped her by doing the Shake and Vac. Unfortunately, there was no Shake and Vac, so I used a big box of Daz. But it could have been worse. She could have been talking about the black paint, but that's another story. But no, definitely. We've got a picture of her with that coat and hat on. I will share it to you because it's absolute. Was that the wedding? Yeah, so we know exactly where to find it too. I may even have it on my phone, and that's something. But no, seriously, thank you from all of us for such a wonderful demonstration and the proof of life, which is what we are here for. Ladies and gentlemen and friends and everyone in between, Dora Sheridan! You know, one of the lovely things about tonight is that usually Barbara has to put in earplugs just before I do my good evening friends bit. Well, because usually you try and protect yourself from me. I think I need to borrow them with the wonderful uplifting sounds coming from all of you lovely people gathered here tonight. So thank you so much for your endearing support and your continued help in making what is important a place for people to come together in common cause. So to that end, let us pray. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship, that we might witness that proof. And indeed, Great Spirit, you did not let us down. We thank the friends and helpers that you guide and direct to help your instrument, Dora. And we know that the work will, as always, continue. We ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present, the friends and families that they represent, that they might shine your love and light across the world. And when in times of difficulty, Great Spirit, please remember, we do not ask you to move the mountain, but we know you give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again, amen.
Amen.
Well, friends, it's almost time for the raffle. Before that, I have one duty that I must always conduct. But once again, a really big thank you to all of you. And it's so lovely to see some friendly faces from my past. Lisa, I'm going to come and give you a big squeeze before you leave this all tonight. Do not let me know. And I promise I will behave. I promise, because she's brought the boss with her tonight as well. You know, and I'm very much aware that some people have come a great distance, have they not? You know, so thank you. Really, it means a great deal, the three of you. God bless you. And all of you, each and every week, that come, and all of you that come intermittently, that's fine too. And, you know, it's wonderful to see the support for each other, because this is your church. To the extent that we have a new healer, who's already been doing the work in the wings in George's old cubby hole already. You know, make it your own, love. Make it your own. No, seriously. And to all of you that have been in touch this week, that have supported and continue to support, may God keep you and bless you. And from the bottom of my heart, on a personal note, I love you all so very dearly. So before I get in huge amounts of trouble, we are going to have a raffle in a second. It is tradition. Ooh. I see a puppy in there. Ah, it's a bichon frise. Wow! Look at you, madam. There's a bichon frise in there. So for everyone watching at home, this is Fully's special prize. And as ever, if you want to win one, you've got to come here. So come here and win Fully's special prize. And of course, I keep seeing more and more and more in that. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Of course, thank you all. Now, for those, I am reminded, of course, that I haven't done the notices. So very, very briefly, next week we have Sandra Shelley as our medium coming back after a long time away. And the week after, we've got Barbara Price. So wonderful for that. We are in talks and we'll be ironing out details about a circle, which Reverend Alan has so kindly offered to make himself available physically. Careful how you put that, to conduct the circle. And there's lots more to come, I'm sure. I did promise before the pandemic that we were going to have a trip. And we were talking about that. And when everything starts to settle down again, we will pay a visit as a group on a bus to Stonehenge. Which will be very, very exciting. We were all ready and I'd got provisional dates booked, and then suddenly the world just shut down. But I feel like the world is going to open up again now. And I know that together we can, as the song that I got while you were giving one of your messages tonight, we can tiptoe through the tulips, that's where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me and you and all and you and you all and all. So there we go. It's been a while since I got a song in. And as they say, a song and a smile make it all worthwhile. But friends, thank you. God bless you. Everyone at home, it's time to go and put on BBC iPlayer and catch up on EastEnders. Don't tell me I haven't watched yet. I think The Dragon's Den will probably be on when I get home, but there you go. But to everyone at home, God bless you. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. And from everyone gathered here, good night. And God bless you all. Safe journeys to the other side of the sofa. Good night. Maestro.